So remember when I said I was going to get into Warcraft? Because I'm into it. So I'm not doing that much this week, so I'm just going to talk to you about this book. And one second. It takes place after the Siege of Orgrimmar, and it's all about the trial of Garrosh Hellscream. And if I was going to cover all of the continuity and backstory you need to kind of understand all the things I'm going to talk about, that would take more than 5 minutes. So if you're interested in all of that, do your research, please. The internet exists. Wikipedia exists, and it's a really cool thing. Basically, that all amounts to be prepared for me to throw names and things at you and just not give context. I'm sorry. So this book, War Crimes by Christie Golden, is about Garrosh Hellscream. He is the former leader of the Horde who did a bunch of war crimes and is now on trial for it. And just so you get kind of a good feel of the crimes Garrosh has committed, I am going to read them for you. The charges are the followings. Genocide, murder, forcible transfer of population, enforced appearance of individuals. The wanton destruction of cities, towns, and villages not justified by military or civilian necessity. There's one more. Enslavement, the abduction of children. Torture, the killing of prisoners. Forced pregnancy. And when asked, how do you plead, Garrosh's response is, I will not say that I am guilty, for that denotes shame, nor will I protest innocence, for I claim no such. Let the comedy begin. Like, he guilty as fuck. Everyone knows it, and everyone on Alliance and Horde hates him and want to see his head on a pike. And so the trial isn't about proving innocence or guilt, because we all know he's guilty. It's about what should the severity of his punishment be, and I think that's interesting. And another interesting thing is his defendant is that guy right there, Bane. He's a Tauren. And the interesting thing about that is Bane, his dad got killed by Garrosh. So that would be like if Joe Chill was on trial for murder and Batman was his defendant, and Bane is slowly, over the course of this book, becoming one of my favorite characters in Warcraft. Like, he's got this scene where he talks to the spirit of his dad about whether or not he should do it, and he admits to his dad that he'd rather just put his hoof on Garrosh's neck than defend him, but he does it because it's the right thing to do. And also that scene with his dad, like, that was heartbreaking. I teared up a bit. And so I want to talk more about themes than character stuff, because kind of a point of this book is that all the character stuff has had to take place before this. The main theme I've noticed outside of the standard themes for Warcraft about power corrupts and war is a complicated issue, because those are just the inherent themes in Warcraft, is change. This book says that change is a fundamental and unavoidable aspect of life, society, allies, the human experience. Change is inevitable. And because change happens, there's nothing you can do about that. For better or for worse, because change can happen and will happen, there is no such thing as going too far. No one is ever past the point of no return. And so, like, there's not a lot of character change in this, because the point is, look at how all these characters are different from who they were when they were originally introduced in Warcraft, because change is inevitable, that's the thing. And the Alliance is kind of played as the bad guys, but not really, because not good and bad guys are complicated in Warcraft. And it's more so the people in the Alliance who say that change is not a thing, Garrosh can't change, kill him, they're the bad guys. They're the ones kind of portrayed as being closed-minded and bad. And there are people like that on the Horde side. That one, Sylvanas, she is the one who is not willing to give Garrosh a second chance and says change is not a thing that can happen, and she's bad. This is a whole video herself, and if she does not become a villain of an expansion of Warcraft, it will betray major themes of the series. And I say things like that now because I'm a Warcraft fan. And I really like that idea, and I don't know where I sit with it 100%. I lean both parties, honestly. I see both arguments, and that's what this book is about, so it's a really interesting read. I think kind of the amazing thing in this book is it handles all those things I've talked about and more things like racism and legacy and father and son relationships and all of these colorful cast of characters and dynamics and playing them off of each other, all while moving the narrative of Warcraft forward. So it's just juggling a lot and dealing with a lot, and it's all really well handled. If any of you guys want to read it, feel free to borrow it, because it's a pretty good read.